In today's video, we're going to talk about hospice care. What is it? What are some things you should know about it when planning your estate? And what are some common myths that we need to bust about it so people have a better understanding of what hospice care is? My name is Gregory Singleton. I'm an estate planning and probate attorney with Signature Law. Signature Law is an estate planning and probate law firm that serves the Twin Cities and Greater Minnesota alike. Reminder, if y'all like today's video, please feel free to hit that like and subscribe button. It actually really helps support the channel. Also, a few caveats before we get going. First of all, these videos are for educational purposes only. I am not giving legal advice. Second of all, we're going to be talking about Minnesota law, though today is going to be a little bit more wishy-washy or theoretical. A lot of what we talk about will apply to most, if not every state, but make sure to talk to a practitioner in your state before you go to plan your estate based on the information in this video. And finally, I'm a lawyer. I am not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. I'm not a social worker. So if you have a real specific question about hospice care and how it applies to you and what it can consist of, make sure to talk to a social worker or a nurse or a doctor in your area that can help you with those questions. So the situation is you have a serious illness or condition. That's it. That's the very basic situation. What types of care are on the spectrum of care that you may receive? Well, the first type of care is very simply treatment. This is where we are attempting to cure the illness or reverse the condition that is harming you. The focus is on getting that cure and doing what it takes to make that happen. The second type of care is called palliative care. Palliative care is not focused on actually finding a cure for the illness or a way to recover from the condition. It's focused on more quality of life, pain medications, pain treatments, emotional support, other things that will improve your life while you are receiving treatment. The third type of care is called hospice care. And this is similar to, if not the same thing as palliative care. We're focused on the quality of life that you have during your last days or months that you may have left. During hospice care, treatment with the goal of curing the illness or curing the disease or recovering from the condition ceases. We're solely focused on your quality of life. So what are some of the things that I run into that people should know about hospice care? First of all, is confusion about what is hospice care and where is it provided. Now, a lot of people think hospice care means they go into this white room facility where they're there and nurses take care of them and there's flowers on the windowsill, et cetera, and it's called a hospice facility. And that is certainly a possibility. However, hospice care is a type of care. It is not location-based. You can receive hospice care at a hospice facility, at a nursing home, at a hospital, or, as I commonly see people requesting, hospice care can be received at home. Second, the duration of hospice care. Generally, you have to have a prognosis that says you will not live longer than usually 6 months. That is what insurance plans require or Medicaid plans or programs require. Depends on the plan and the program. We'll talk about that in a second. But generally, we're looking at a prognosis where you have a limited time to live, usually less than 6 months, and we're going to measure your life in months. Now, notably, 90% of people that enter hospice care do die within 6 months of entering hospice care. On a related note, insurance. Does insurance and Medicaid cover or medical assistance cover hospice care? The answer is it depends on the program, it depends on the plan. In my experience, generally yes, but if this is something that is important to you, make sure you check with your plan and check with your program and make sure that you're covered. Finally, is the care that is given. People need to understand that it is focused on quality of life. The goal is not recovery, and in fact, we are stopping treatments that exist to prolong life. You may be denied certain diagnostic tests, such as blood tests or x-rays, if the only purpose of those tests would be to seek a cure for the illness or a recovery from the condition you have. Similarly, a lot of experimental treatments and clinical trials may be denied because a lot of those are focused on prolonging life, where the goal of hospice is to improve the quality of life for whatever time you have left. Now, a few myths that we should bust about hospice care. First of all, one myth is that people believe that going into hospice care means you're giving up on life. And this is, I would say, entirely opposite of the goal of hospice care. Hospice care is not just to usher you to death. It usher you to the point of death. It is about living the best life that you can with the time that you have left. This is an embracing of life. The second myth is that there's no return from hospice. Once you go into hospice, that's it. You can, let's say you have a spontaneous recovery or there's a new treatment that is approved that actually affects you and makes you able to cure the disease or recover from your condition, you can absolutely leave hospice care. We're not going to lock you in there. Later on, if you have to go back into hospice care, you're going to have to reapply. You're going to have to show that you have a short duration of life, et cetera, and make sure you comply with the requirements of whatever insurance program you're on or whatever Medicaid program you're on. The next myth is that if you go into hospice, it's going to hasten death. And studies have actually shown that on average, people live 29 days longer when they go into hospice care for people with similar conditions that don't go into hospice care. So we can actually, in hospice care, lengthen your life and improve the quality of life that you have while you're in hospice care. And that's a fantastic situation to be in if the prognosis is that you're not going to live very long. Finally, this is a myth that I run into a few times and makes people hesitant about going into hospice care, is there's the belief that you have to have a do not resuscitate order in place if you're in hospice care. And a do not resuscitate order would be, for instance, if you have a heart attack or a stroke, that they won't do CPR on you. And that's not true. Just because you're in hospice doesn't mean you have to have a DNR. You can receive CPR. You can work to extend life through extenuating circumstances. It's just the goal is not about recovery from your primary illness or condition. So that's my take, a general take on hospice care. What is it? What are some things you need to know about it? And what are some myths that need to be busted? I hope you liked today's video. If you did like today's video, please hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps support the channel. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below or just send me an email. We've had some wonderful back and forths as of recently. We do a new video every other Wednesday. We're going to be getting into our Essential series very soon, which is going to cover some of the basic videos, and we're going to update them with some graphics and such. What is a will? What is a durable power of attorney? Some of the basic questions you need to know when starting to plan your estate. Otherwise, until next time, this is Gregory Singleton with Signature Law.